Hey, plumbing pros, welcome to the morning workout. All right, hey, did you get your workout in today? Get that workout in, guys. All right, it's good for you. You know, you wake up every morning. You know, nobody wakes up in the morning and wants to work out. It's just how it is. Which brings me to my business topic, my plumbing business topic. No one wakes up in the morning and wants to call a plumber. No one. In 40 years of being in the plumbing industry, I've never met anyone that woke up in the morning and wanted to call a plumber. All right? No one wakes up in the morning and wants to call a plumber. But here's the good news. If they called you, they want to get the work done. They want to get the work done. All right? I hear guys, saying to just, they get wrapped up in the customers asking, how much is you charge and this and that. That's not their concern. Okay, that's not what their concern is. The concern is really, can I get someone today? Because no one wakes up in the morning and wants to call a plumber. But if they called you, all right, they want to get the work done. I've seen it now. Certainly over 20 years in my own plumbing business, and then having now worked with hundreds of other plumbing entrepreneurs, okay, that it's us that screw it up. You don't need fancy sales bullshit, okay? It's not that you need a salesman, or you guys aren't selling, or no one wants to buy, or no one. It's all crap. It's all excuses, okay? No one wakes up in the morning and wants to call the plumber, and if they called you, all right, they want to get the work done. All right, it's us that fuck it up. It's you that fuck it up. That fucks it up. I mean, it's just how it is. I know I'm talking strong here because I know that. When you work, when you know something, 2 plus 2 equals 4. Okay, 2 plus 2 equals 4. No matter how much you want to say that's racist, or it's just there's a different kind of science, or it depends on the numbers, or who it's for, or whatever. 2 plus 2 equals fucking 4. All right. After 40 years of being in the plumbing industry, okay, and dealing with thousands of customers, no one wakes up in the morning and wants to call a plumber. If they called you, they're already sold. And it's you who fucks it up. How do you fuck it up? Well, one of the huge problems is when you call, it's you answering the phone. The plumbing business owner, the plumber. You fuck it up. All right, how do you fuck it up? All right, you answer their questions, okay? Because one of their questions, look, when they call, they feel out of control, the sphere associated with it, okay? That's exactly where our customers are at, okay? They're uncomfortable, they're afraid, they're frustrated, because no one wakes up in the morning and wants to call a plumber. We've now just messed up their day, okay? And so really they want to get their day back. And yes, they do know they're going to have to spend some money on something they don't want to spend money on. Right? Do you want to spend money to get your car worked on? I just spent $2,000 on my Range Rover on general maintenance. I love my Range Rover. Okay, I love a car. It's fun, all that kind of stuff. Enjoy it. But I don't want to spend my money on that. I'd much rather spend my money on a lovely Laura, or on fancy restaurants and food and entertainment, and everyone else the same way, okay? All right? So they know that's the position that they're in. They know they're gonna have to spend money on plumbing. So that's where you're meeting them, okay? And so when we get them, when they call and ask how much do you charge, and you start going into all the details, you just freak them out. That's all you're doing is freaking them out, okay? You want to get right to the point is, hey, sure, we can take care of that. We're going to take a look at that. Hey, I can get you taken care of today. Okay, by the way, if your schedule is freaking full, okay, you got 100 calls on, all right, you schedule it for a day. Okay, that's for a different conversation, all right, because that's the value. That's what they're looking for, all right. So we mess it up there. Another way that we fuck it up is we get out there, all right, we show up in a piece of shirt, t-shirt, looking like a butt crack plumber. Okay, but that's what I am. We're plumbing, okay? Where you just come off a job, a drain job, and you got crap all over you and all that. You smell like shit, okay? And you look like shit, okay? You just fucked up there, all right? because there's no value there. They don't want that in that house, in their house. Okay. By the way, they don't want you in the house anyways. Okay. They don't want you there. All right. Okay. So you want to show up clean, presentable. Okay. Professional. Okay. Uniformed. All right. Another way that you fuck it up is you get there, okay, you see they have a leak at the toilet or whatever, you go right to it, okay? You know, like you're, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, okay? You're going right at it. No, you need to take time to listen to them, let them tell their story. They need to be heard, okay? You know that you can fix whatever. You know exactly what's going on. This is like when you go to the doctor, okay? You go to the doctor's office. You think you're the only one with the cold or the flu or that symptom. They see it. I see hundreds of that. They already know what's wrong with you, and they already know what they're going to prescribe to you. Okay, they already know, just like you already know. All right. But what do? They listen to you. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're feeling. Okay. They do a diagnostic. Okay, that's why you should be doing a plumbing inspection. Okay, when I say they're diagnostic, doctor, they're checking your ears and tongue, the pressure, they check your blood pressure, all that kind of stuff. Okay, you want to do the same kind of a thing. So that's why you're doing plumbing inspection before everything. Okay, on top of diagnosing what they called you out there for the problem. Okay, that shows that you're professional. Okay, if you're not doing that, all right, you're fucking it up. Okay, your odds are going down. They're going to say yes, okay, to anything. Another thing that we do is we don't provide options. Okay, they're looking for any reason to say no. Okay, I know that sounds silly, but they want to say no. So they're looking for any reason to say no. So you've got to give them something to say no to. Okay, so that's why we provide options. By the way, we only provide 3 options. Okay, not 2 options, not 4 options, not 5 options, not a bundling. If you do, if you get our latest, greatest, world saving, earth saving, universe saving, water conditioning, green system. Okay, I'll throw in the toilet rebuild for free. Okay, no, 3 options: good, better, best. We're a good, better, best world. Okay, that's for another subject. Another conversation, okay? But by not providing options, you're not giving them something to say no to. That's exactly what you're doing, okay? You want to give them something to say no to. They also feel like they're in control. See what's going on here? Can you pick up on a theme, all right? You want to be able to give them control, all right? So, no one wakes up in the morning and wants to call the plumber. I hope you take that away, okay? No one wakes up in the morning and wants to call the plumber. All right, you do that, remember that, okay? So, just felt that this morning here for you guys. That is, if you want a golden nugget, if you want a secret on how right now you can double, even triple, okay, your average tickets, your revenue, all right? Realize that no one wakes up in the morning and wants to call the plumber, okay? All right, and know that they want to get it taken care of today. Okay, that's why they called you. And if they called you, they're already sold. Okay, you don't need fancy sales jargon. Okay, you guys aren't salesmen. That's okay. Guys are not salesmen. All right, I don't care. You can get the sales training guys in and do that kind of stuff. And you get the free breakfast, and of course, they're smiling. And it's entertaining and that kind of thing, because they're getting a free meal and some free time. You're probably even paying them for that time, okay? But they ain't gonna do it, okay? You can systemize that sales process, all right? Now you systemize that sales process is by getting there today, okay? Showing up clean, listening to the customer. It's that all you gotta do is listen. Provide 3 options: good, better, best. Okay, within the lane. I'll explain more about that later. Okay, and you do those kinds of things right now, today, you will start double, at the very least, you'll double your average tickets. Okay, it is that simple, all right? And it all stems from realizing no one wakes up in the morning and wants to call the plumber, all right? So stop fucking up your sales, man. All right. So there we go. All right. Hey guys, have a good day. All right. Get out there, be dangerous, plumb like a champion.